Welcome back to another daring episode of Data Live. Of course, with certain characters now getting a whole butt ton of power when they really shouldn't. How's it going to impact the world and those in it? Considering there's spirits now hovering around in space, wanting to be left well alone. I might heed the call if they threaten to stop the spin of the planet entirely. Let's see what happens in this episode. The hell is that? An unfamiliar ceiling? Oh, it was a pig nose. Right, okay, that makes complete sense. I did put on the right episode, right? Going from Ike taking control and being a menace to fairy tale extravaganza. Let's hope it's up to building standards. I see we're going back to the questionable episodes of Data Live. What? Some things I'm not entirely sure on, and it almost always stems from whatever it is I just saw. But having it go from soaring in space and Ike now making a reappearance to the three pigs and fairy tales. Is this somehow anatomy involved again, or this is the true power of that guy's Chinabu syndrome? No dark dragons and flames, nope, just back to the brothers Grimm. Oh, we're in Hobbiton as well. A mix of styles and stories. This one's up to code. Actual brick and mortar. Yeah, until you turn around and it's Hansel and Gretel. Aha. Well, it was one way or the other. Wolves. Wolves everywhere. So pigs, Red Riding Hood and Red Riding Rabbit. Where's the woodcutter when you need them? That's how I'm going to see this fairy tale from now on. Oh, Grandma, what big nose you've got. You're going beast mode. Wait, we got... Oh, yeah. The Peach, that story as well. I mean, I think a bullet to the heart would do just as well, but okay, sure. You're not yourself when you're hungry. Snickers. I really hope that joke goes further than just the British audience. It's like silver bullet. Uh-huh. She came out better than others. And since it's a world of fairy tales and fables, I'm sure there is. Just wait until you see the Wizard of Oz or some shit. What are we now? Some Charles Dickens novel? The candle matchstick seller girl? Yeah, hypothermia is a hell of a thing. Wait, where's Shido? I don't think they're performing the CPR correctly. Wait, what? I'm not a huge. I don't have a huge amount of knowledge on the match seller girl. I know of the story because it's been in other uh, mediums, I think manga and whatnot, or even anime that has mentioned it. But I have no idea what the actual powers of it are. Just bring your innermost desires. Sweets. I'm guessing they're getting the Hansel and Gretel story. So we just ate the base foundations until the house collapsed on itself. So we ate her as well. Oh, okay. And they even made away with a basket of goodies as well. Not denying the crying part. But it's amusing to see that you're brought into a new world of curiosities and you don't know where you are or anyone. Your first instinct, oh, let's eat that house. Which mermaid tale are we going on with here? Hopefully another one that turns into sea foam again. Okay. It's the fear from within. Close enough. With their new AI assistant, they'll come through anything. That's good. And so all they need to do is hold it out and take down any kind of banner snatchers and the like that is now assaulting them. And they just fly right in and disengage. Uh-huh. Good thinking on his feet. We've seen that he's actually quite skilled and useful, but it is nice seeing each time. What do they class as suspicious? Because each one of them isn't particularly, on the level. Excuse me. Be afraid of digital tigers. Everyone knows that they kept a pet tiger on board. He brought a figure to a gunfight. Well, you've just awoken the beast. He's gonna fight with renewed vigor. He's gone berserker mode. Oh, okay. Why did the revealing of the voodoo puppet make that okay? They're allowed to keep stuff on board, just at what cost? Well, he's heartbroken. He's going to have a few weeks off on grief. How surprising that they just kind of stumble across them. Unfortunately, they don't have tickets into the inner circle of the castle. They weren't invited. I think, yeah, just from that description we can kind of guess who it is. Until they, prove themselves? Surely you'd let in today's feast. Some of them came out better than others in this retelling of fairy tales. And what about the pig? Well, now we know how easy it is to get through secure borders. Oh no. Well, back to the streets with you, ruffian. And shouldn't he investigate himself for getting flustered over a child? Just... Is there a smart... I see, but... Huh. Use the powers of the matches again. Because it suits you so well. I mean, couldn't he have had a suit at least? Maybe a dinner jacket. She's part of lunch today. Having sashimi. You are surprised by this? It's not that fun of a story. Video footage. And she could breathe. So you said, hell no. What an unfair trade. So I slapped her up top the head and ran away. Yeah, of course. Okay. Aha. Uh-huh. What story is this? Yeah, there's nothing underneath that robe, though. I made a joke, but no. Oh, God. Official regalia. The Emperor's... Don't thrash your arms around too much. I have a... Yeah, a few questions. I see there's only one of them there actually averting their gaze. So why is Shido still blushing? So, who's gonna be the all-powerful magician to get them out of this world? Somehow, somewhere, I can never remember the name, but his friend with the phone is trapped in here as well. Weren't they best of friends not too long ago? And the... Ah. The red and blue Oni. How dare you avoid your fate and our story and... Yeah, okay. Was there anything in her story that might help them in this situation right now? Some of them have better combat potential than others. Not necessarily. When Torcus first arrived, she was being shot at and attacked anyway. Return them to book form. Nice. He's part of his own story. Where can we get one of these Shidos? Ah. A world of fiction. So what else is here? Are you okay? Me? I feel like my conversation with myself wouldn't be quite so cordial. And the fictional version of me definitely wouldn't be so smart. Or reliable. And how long is that fictional soundathon going to last? I guess if there's nothing in the manga which made him lose it. I see. Just slash through the veil of this world itself. One way out. And for the one with the most power, the one to actually get them out of here being himself. Is the right one going to escape? So we can use a bit of advice. However, do any of them seem to have regretted the outcome? But is but why does she need to lock her heart? Damn me, you're so helpful. Well, that steeled his decision a little more, even if it does come at the risk of stopping the world itself. Now, you took a while. You can imagine a whole heap of things that they could have been doing back there. Now they're back on the bridge. And what was that face? They're definitely going to have to up defences, considering they had an actual breach and people got on board. Did I see one ember there that got caught on the ship and was being lifted by it? Would they have even simulated that? Or was that just some weird coincidence? But an episode of fiction and fable and story tales. Now to space. That's usually how these things unfurl. I just realised I've been bottom frame most of the time. Damn it. Still, having a bunch of these tales kind of play out. Oh, there's the grandmother being a wolf and suddenly got shot. Oh, how I remember that story, but sure. Imagine if you can have fairy tales that are intertwined and interject and kind of bits and pieces which make sense in one story just turn up. Very useful that they gave the high school boy who just happened to pass by the sword in their manga. You know, when this episode started, I did think it was going to be a really dumb filler episode kind of thing, like the in this controlled town from so long ago, just because it felt so detached from what we were just seeing. But it pulled itself together fairly well. I just wonder why, out of all the things that Westcott could have created, it was a world of fairy tales and fables which gave them the powers and abilities to at least survive for a while. This Beelzebub thing being a cavalcade of nonsense, questionable abilities and powers throughout. What can it actually... What can't it do? But for each of them, some of them made more sense than others. Obviously, Mika being the mermaid that gave up her voice makes sense. Some of them I can't place, like obviously Kotori. I don't know anything about that story, so whether it suits her or not. Hansel and Gretel is just because they're twins, isn't it? Is it any deeper than that? As far as Day Live stories go, I do feel as though it was slightly rushed at the end, but for decent reasoning to get through it all. It probably could have done more with the whole fictional world setting. But obviously you don't want to spend too long, definitely no more than one episode on it. It would kind of ruin the pacing a little more than it already did. But an ability and opportunity, I should say, to have a little introspection, look inward, talk to himself about what he wants, what he can do for those around him and the one in low Earth orbit. But I think the biggest impact to come out of this episode was definitely the AI learning, you know what, maybe anime figurines aren't so bad. Even if they're not in pristine condition. Is there a way to replace that head for him? I mean, they've got a image replicated tiger to appear on board. Sure, they can just kind of put a head there for him, just so he doesn't go off the deep end too quickly. Hell, maybe it's a blessing. Now it could be animated and talk to him. God. This was a dumb one, even by Day Live standards, but entertaining and fun, and hopefully you thought the same. If somehow throughout all of this you were entertained even slightly, let me know. Leave a like on the video, comment down below if anything I may have missed, any, well, understanding of the Match Girl story and some others that may have glossed over. But definitely, make sure not to miss out in the future. So, consider subscribing to the channel, or even just using the links in the description. Head on over to my Discord. Yeah, notified every time there's something new, maybe even a conversation or two that you might find somewhat entertaining and fun. I've used those two words a lot. But, for now, get yourselves a bit of rest, because I want to see you for the next one. And no, I'm not wearing a dress. A tiara now. If you want to help me navigate the world of fiction and make-believe, consider joining onto my Patreon, because I still don't believe that really exists. I mean, who would support my channel? But I guess I need to thank the delusions that are Sal, Aegis TR, Ethan5, Guado, Kite, Wolfie Sensei, Zug, and everyone else. For if it wasn't for you, I don't think anyone would read my fairy tale.